So let's talk about the cabinet office issue just to get an update. And so what happened is we've been going back and forth with the cabinet office. They've been very pedantic and requesting a lot of materials. They have very tight deadlines. They don't provide much flexibility. Their platform doesn't really meet our requirements and kind of constrains what the summit could actually be. Meaning we can't invite random young people to join. We can only have up to 100 young people. We've got to make a schedule ahead of time and communicate that, and then wait for them to put the updates in. So it's really a recipe for inflexibility. And given the time constraints and that we're volunteers, that just doesn't work for us. And especially because we have to reach out and get speakers. We're not some ministry or big industry, the B7. It's just not feasible for us. And I think there's been growing consensus that we should make this an interactive activity. Really glad that finally, after 2 months since early Jan, I think we met on the 4th of Jan first. It's now the 3rd of March. Finally, the whole program and delegates team agrees. The logistics team agrees, and then I'm sure the comms and outreach will also agree. And so now we know that one of our core requirements is actually having a platform that allows us to have these random participants. Otherwise, what's the point of doing it online? Like one of the key benefits of doing it online is that it's more accessible to everybody. And if then you squander that because you want to pick one platform over another, then that's a big decision to make, and you're really compromising yourself. In particular, I want to talk about the reasons that I think Sophie is concerned with leaving the platform. So I've actually got this kind of core bit of information today in a meeting where we're onboarding somebody to join the evaluation side, so surveys and evaluating what kind of impact this year's Y7 is actually going to have and measuring it. And one of the things Sophie said, quote unquote, quote, is she said, I think we kind of have to use the cabinet office platform, end quote. And that essentially means that she either feels pressured or that she has to. Now, there might be a few reasons for that. So number one is we asked for the platform, we've engaged with them for a couple of months, and set our requirements, and then moved forward and sent them materials. And so we set the expectation that we actually want to use their platform. That's number one. And that's fair. We have set the expectation. And what's happened now is that we've realized that to make the event as good as we want it to be, in a private meeting that we had on Tuesday evening with the program and delegates team and one of the co-chairs, we realized that one of the core requirements is actually making this an interactive event, as I said. And we realized that the cabinet office just doesn't do this, and it's too inflexible, and we have short time scales. And so now it's about how do we disengage the cabinet office effectively without burning relationships or any bad side effects. And I completely understand the bad side effects that it might burn a relationship. But like at the end of the day, this is about making this the best of it possible. I understand the Future Leaders Network is going to continue collaborating and engaging with the cabinet office and Her Majesty's government, but it might come down to just some mid-level civil servant being annoyed at us for cancelling. Now, for cancelling this, I understand that they're probably paying a lot of money. They're stupidly paying a ton of money for this platform, needlessly, and so they're annoyed that they've wasted this money. But look, there's a couple of things we can do. We can either stay with this platform and have a really far reduced event that just doesn't meet our objectives, doesn't put a record-breaking event, which changes how we do the Y7, where we engage young people around the world instead of just 50 delegates from the G7 countries. And if we want to stay in the lane and keep doing it the old way, then I mean, it's possible we can do that. That's the easy option, but that's definitely not why I'm here. That's not why I spend so many hours working on this. That's not why I'm so passionate about this. And I don't think that's why the rest of the task force is. And so we need to really focus on our vision and find a way to manage it. Like, if I don't think it's problematic to just turn around and say, look, these are our requirements. Can you satisfy them? To have 2,000 people in the day, to have a flexible schedule, really long deadlines, and then any other features that we need, like networking. If the answer is yes, and having people being able to sign up even during the summit, if all of these things are satisfied, then okay, we can continue working with you. If you don't think that these requirements can be satisfied, then look, we've reconsidered, we've re-strategized, we've had another think, we found some alternative solution, so we can host this event and really make it the best and make it really good and make the UK stand proud of hosting the best Y7 in the history of Y7s. And we'll host it on there, and we won't bother you anymore, and we won't waste any more of your resources. If you're annoyed that there has been some sunk cost or that you've wasted money on this project, we need to look at how to move forward. Like, is it more important to use this sunk cost is it more important to make it seem like this money isn't wasted, and then instead waste that massive opportunity to make it a great Y7? So yeah, so like the alternative is, if they're going to be very butthurt about this, all we have to do is to say, look, fine, we're going to use your platform, but we're just going to use it for the pre-negotiations, where only our delegates and some random speakers are invited on stage to do the pre-negotiations, to talk about and discuss topics and create a communique. We'll do that, that's fine. We'll give you 2 days, it'll be 2 or 3 days, and we'll give you all the details. It'll probably be end of April. That's fine. That way we use your platform, and then when we need to have a public, because you can't satisfy that requirement where we have 2,000 young people, we're going to do it ourselves. So like, there's a lot of options. We just have to be creative. We have to be bold, and we shouldn't be afraid of breaking norms in that sense. We should be considerate. We should be aware of the different pressure points. We should address them, but to relinquish on our mission and everything that we've worked for, doing this part-time on a volunteer basis, where we're all super psyched and we're all super excited about this, and so are the delegates and the youth forums, is a waste of 80 people's time. And to do all of this because we're afraid of mid-level civil servants' ego or having a tough conversation, that's just unproductive. Because ultimately what matters is the mission, and we have the solutions. So let's get this done.